Fighting your way out of this, like as we were looking at last week, can be difficult if this person is actually really locking down and controlling you. And so having some ideas on ways to start to harass his base. So like what I'm doing right here is bracing and blocking his knee. So that now if I can come this way, I can start to block that more. And as I move, I can threaten his knees here and weaken his base. Here, I'm blocking, trapping, and then I'm pushing with my body to move his legs, right? So even if he's really crushing me down, if his weight's here on my chest, then his legs are easier for me to attack and weakens the structure here. And then we're back to the same things we were doing last week. This is just a way to weaken that really strong control. So now I can come back to here, fight my frames in, work my way out, begin lightly in the head. Always helps. But when this is really, really tight, trying to fight up here not only doesn't work very well, but it's exactly what he wants. It gives him this arm, and he can threaten it really easily with Americanas and other horrible things. So using this side to block, and using my hip bump to weaken his base, just so that I can make this work. And now again, I have my frame. There are times you might collapse that enough to be able to get a roll, which is amazing, but mostly think of it as a way to weaken this person's control. So again, I'm gonna come here and block, and I'm bumping to bring his knees closer together. And if I do get him close, now I can do a reversal, which is super fancy and fun. Okay, so in this case, if they're really sprawled all the way down, I can't go after his legs effectively. Like out here at the end of my range, I don't have much power, and his base is really wide. So I'm gonna push his head with my hand. So I'm just gonna get the back or side of his head, and then get on the bridge and push this way to create my space, and then I bring my knee in. When his base is that low, that makes it easier for me to push up here. So if he's tucked in tight, I can't get that purchase, I'll use my bicep to do the same thing. So again, I'm coming across and down, and then I'll swing this in while I'm still holding that space. And come back to me. Okay, so next path is going to be the underhook path. So I'll try to weaken this here with my ribs and fish this arm through. So I'm using my movement here to destabilize this point of contact. Wedge this through, and now I can start to come up and out to go after the back. Sometimes it's really hard to get a high underhook from here, and I'm gonna come frame, all the same stuff, and as I weasel this through, you're gonna grab your shin. And now, even if you've got a wizard and you're crushing me and everything sucks trying to sprawl out, it's really hard to do. Yeah. So now, as I have that shin, I step over the ankle, and I can come down. Nice. So, cross body pin here, and I've got this control, but if I have to like move from here, and that's not doing me as much good. I'd like to break him down a little bit more. So I'm using my shoulder here to drive and wedge under his arm and pry it out. And then I'll come across, but I'm just staying tight on everything and not giving his arm any space. And then I'll come back and go for my Americana. When in doubt, use your head as a tool. So, clasped here, everything's tight. So I'm taking the top of my shoulder and driving underneath his wedge, his frame here, up and across to bring his arm out into this weaker angle. So I'm pinching his shoulder with mine, between my shoulder and my hands. I can swim across and over and just not leave any space on that arm as I'm chasing it out.
So as Russell's reaching for my wrist or anything else to try and Americana me, I can actually grab his wrist, get an overhook on his arm, and clap my hands together. Now if I just push up, I might be able to get a sweep off of this and come up. But from here, I really want to start shrimping and coming up. And if he's stubborn and coming back at me, he's gonna put pressure into the Americana.
Yeah.
So usually he's gonna start leaning back, and I can just switch all the way to the top and finish that Americana from this position. So Russell's reaching for my hand, trying to find it for an Americana. I'm gonna grab his, I'm gonna go over his arm and into my wrist. And now I have Americana grip. If I lay here for too long, this will get undone and reversed. So I need to start shrimping and creating a hole for him to fall into, so when I come up, I can finish the Americana. So